Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Kulkarni. I am doing this course AI Product Management from Duke University on Coursera. This is an assessment for third course in the series, Human Factors in AI. Let's begin. The opportunity under consideration here is automatic apparel suggestions for online shopping platforms. Let's do the task analysis for the same. Firstly, we would need to gather the user information. This may contain size, preferences such as colors, types, etc., budget range, and even a photo of the user. Based on these details, app can suggest the apparels that the user may like. It can even create a new image from the uploaded image wearing the dress under consideration. This can give the user even better idea about how this particular dress will look on him or her. Now, after the suggestions, it is important to keep a track of user choices, whether the user actually buys the suggested dress or not. If purchased or returned, another feedback should be taken from the user for what was right and what was wrong about the suggestion. Based on this feedback, the details in the database must be updated. For example, sometimes the sizes are a little different brand wise. They can be mapped to the user measurements and comfort as per user's feedback. Now, let us look at the user experience design. So, the user will have to provide us with some basic inputs such as measurements, choices, and photo. Based on the measurements, suggest apparels to the users. With photo, there can be a try-on feature as well, where the pictures of user and dress will be merged to create a new image where user is wearing the dress to get more realistic feel. Now, keeping a track is important here. What out of all suggestions the user actually checks out? Based on that, the choices in the database should be modified. Again, if the user keeps the dress, update the database. If the user returns the dress, ask the reason for returning and update the database accordingly. Maybe the material is not good or there is an issue with the size. Based on that, update the database so that the next suggestions can be refined. For maintaining transparency, it is important to take due consents from the user. Also, it should be clearly stated for what purpose the user data will be used and how it will be handled. Following the local regulations for data protection is equally important here. Communicating uncertainty can be very important here. Based on previous user feedbacks, it might really help the user for the next order. There's an example here. It might as well be communicated how the fitting color would be and what size might fit the best. So here's how uh, a suggestion may look like. So it says, you may like this dress. Now it gives the confidence also that uh, you like the clothes 95% of the times from this particular brand. Then about the color, it may be the user choices or uh, based on what has been frequently bought, there could be a suggestion for a new color, asking want to try this new color. Then about the size, which size will fit the user the best, that is also mentioned. And what are the chances that this fitting would be liked by the user? So there is an 80% chance that the user will like it. That's how it has been suggested here. Coming to privacy considerations, here are some privacy related concerns that may arise in this project. We are dealing with highly personal information like photos, user choices, sizes, etc. We must assure the user that the data collected will be used strictly for their personalized experience only. There should be a disclaimer that the data will be misused and it should actually be followed. If even after this some users don't feel comfortable sharing their photos, they should be allowed not to share the photos. Also, at any point of time, if the user wants to withdraw the details, they should be allowed to do so, and all the data at that point should be deleted from the database. Uh, that should be conveyed to the users as well. Now, let's look at the applicable privacy laws here. This can be used by many online platforms as an assist. In this case, based on where this is being used geographically, local regulations will have to be followed. For example, while operating within Europe region, GDPR needs to be followed, which gives users control over their data through 8 rights, such as right to be informed, right of access, right to rectify, right to be forgotten, right to restrict processing, right to object, right to data portability, right not to be subject to automated decision making. That's GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. Ethical considerations. In this complete process, it is very much possible that the model develops certain biases such as gender, race, brand, style, color, depending on who the users are and what type of information or feedback they are providing to the model. Accordingly, it might end up suggesting very similar choices or something really weird. This needs to be handled at all the times throughout. One of the ways could be to take some generic feedback from the users at regular intervals about the suggestions. This may include questions like how helpful the suggestions are, scopes for improvement, users' expectations in next suggestions, etc. Talking about fairness, there are two parts. Individual fairness, where similar people should receive similar suggestions. It should not happen that one user gets all fancy ones and one user gets very basic ones. And group fairness, where different groups should experience similar treatments. For example, males and females should get equally good suggestions. Coming to accountability, it should be the model development team who will be responsible for the actual suggestions. However, the online platforms can keep a track of user inputs or trends and raise the issues or request changes from the development team at any point in time. Also, there should be set rules about how the entire system should work, and if something is not going correctly as per any user, there should be a provision for the users to share their concerns with which again would go to the model development or maintenance team. The transparency can be achieved by two things. One, sharing the details about how confident the model is about the suggestion, as discussed in the example in previous slide. And two, a short explanation about how the model reached this outcome. Like in the example in earlier slide, for something different, the suggestion was asking if the user wants to try something new. Well, that's it. Thank you.